Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. Hope you all had a great weekend. Before we start, if you haven't watched the video that I posted on Sunday, it's about 20 minutes or so long. Please stop this video and go back to your teams. And I posted it in the general channel. Please watch that first, right here. It's called Update. I also sent it to your parents on Class Dojo. Watch that first, okay? If you have watched that, you guys know that we have our daily schedule. That schedule is based off of my availability. Remember, I have my 3 or so hours of office hours a day. If you need to reach me, I'm usually available all day, but these are the hours that you know for sure I'm gonna be available to respond right away, okay? So remember, after this lesson, go ahead and start your independent work. I'm going to tell you guys right now, the lesson is really simple for today. They're keeping things pretty simple since I can't be there in person to help you guys out and really teach you the way that we would in class. They're going to be very simple lessons. But if you do have any questions or need me to go over anything, I'll open up the Zoom room 1 hour a day. Okay, if you need information on how to get onto the Zoom room, go to your right here Microsoft Teams, click on Files, and you'll see it'll take a second to pop up. Zoom room information. Right there, Zoom information. If you click that, that has the password, the ID, the link, everything on how to enter the Zoom room. Remember, the Zoom room is only for questions or if you need me to review anything. It's not for chatting or socializing. That is saved for our Zoom at noon on Wednesdays, okay? So today your work, let me go over today's lesson. We're going back to shapes and fractions for the next 2 weeks. I believe after these 2 weeks, we'll be done with that, okay? So here's our lesson for today. Recognize and draw shapes. Let me make myself a little bit smaller. There we go. Okay, so first we're gonna review circles, triangles, squares, and rectangles. This is a review from first grade, okay? What I want you to do is you're gonna follow along with me as I go through this lesson. So either you have a notebook or you have a paper or a whiteboard in front of you, okay? So first it says, Macy makes this collage with cutout shapes. How many circles, triangles, squares, and rectangles does she use? So I want you to take a second and make a list. Use tally marks to count the circles, the triangles, squares, and rectangles. So go ahead and pause. And I want you to count up each one, circle, triangle, square, rectangle, and make tally marks to make a list, a tally chart of how many of each. Go ahead. Okay, once you're done, we're gonna go through this. So color the circles red. We made a list already. So you should have, let's start with circles and how many tallies. I'm going to use tallies. We're not going to use colors. We're going to use tallies. So for your circles, your tallies should be, I'll use red. We have 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Now we'll go to triangles. Use blue. Triangles. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you should have drawn 4 tallies. Remember, if you haven't done this, you should have paused this, pause it now, and go ahead and count it up and write the tallies for each shape. If you have done it, we're checking our answers. Okay, next. Let's go to, let me make this a little bit smaller. Sorry guys. How can I make this smaller? I think I'm in the way. There we go. Make it a little bit smaller so we could see it all. Okay. Next, the square is yellow. Let me erase all this. I wonder if it'll let me just erase it all at once. No, it doesn't. Okay. Square is yellow. Let me go ahead and use yellow for my squares. So you should have 1, 2, 3, and 4. 4 squares. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next, rectangle's green. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This little one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember what we do with tallies. When it's 5, we go like this. 5, 6 rectangles. Okay. Now, I really want you to notice the difference between the rectangles and squares. This one could be a little tricky because it looks similar to a square, but notice the two sides are longer than the ones on top. In a square, all sides are the same length. So even if it's slightly longer, that would make it a rectangle. Okay? Okay, let's go ahead and continue. Really easy again. That's just a review from first grade stuff. So we saw this. Okay, most shapes have sides and angles. We learned about this already. The sides are pretty much the lines that make the shape. So triangles have 3 sides and 3 angles. So however many sides a 2D shape has is also how many angles it has. So the triangle has 3 sides, 1, 2, 3, and also has 3 angles because angles are the parts of the line, like let's pretend right here, that's my angle, that touch. So think of like the corner. So right here, this is where the 2 lines meet. That's 1 angle. Right here, that's 2. Right here, that's 3. 3 sides, 3 angles. That's why we call it tri. Tri means 3. Triangle. Okay. Same thing, quadrilaterals. Quad means 4. Quadrilaterals have 4 sides, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4 angles. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's so many different types of quadrilaterals. We had our quadrilateral song that we listened to in class. Square, yeah, we did listen to in class. Square, rectangle, trapezoid, rhombus are just some of them. There's also parallelogram. And I think I'm missing one, but maybe that's it. Then we have pentagons. Penta means 5, 5 sides, 5 angles, and then we have hexagons, 6 sides, 6 angles. We know this. We've been doing this for a long time, guys. So this is just a review, okay? Now, here's where we're going to do some writing and some explaining our thinking, okay? Question says, look at the hexagons above. Can the shape at the right be called a hexagon? Explain. So I want you to take a second and I want you to look at this shape right here. I want you to count the sides. Let me move this a little bit so you can't see. Count the sides and tell me, can we call this a hexagon? Yes or no? And explain why you put yes or no. So I want you to pause this in your notebook, on your whiteboard, wherever it is. Go ahead and write out your answer. Can this be called a hexagon? Explain. Pause. Okay, once you're done explaining, go ahead and read your answer out loud. I can't hear you, but when we do our Zoom room, I'll go over it. So your answer should be no. We cannot call this a hexagon. The reason is, if we count the sides or the corners or the angles, remember, all 3 of those are the same. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 sides. A hexagon has 6. So the answer is no. And it says explain. So you shouldn't just be writing no. You need to explain. No, because this has 8 sides. And we learned what the name of the shape is. And if you guys remember, 8 sides, we call it an octagon. Octo means 8. So your answer is no, because this has 8 sides. Okay? Okay, so that's it for today's lesson. Every day we just do 2 pages from here. Now your independent work is going to look like this. I posted it in Teams. So when you go to the general channel for today, you'll see it. I added the attachment. If it's not there for some reason or you don't see it, go to Files up here and you'll see Assignments April 6th. Now, it's a whole entire packet. So when you open it, that doesn't mean you're doing that all today. I'm going to assign which pages every day. It's only going to be 2 pages a day. So today, Monday, you're doing page 273 and page right here, 274. Remember, you can write in it, you can print it out, you can do it in your notebook. You don't need to turn it into me unless you need me to check, or when we go into our Zoom room, you can share your screen with me and I can check over your answers in our Zoom room if you need help, okay? So pretty much what you're doing today, I have it bigger over here, okay? You're doing these 2 pages, go over these 3 shapes. I want you to write out for number 1, write how many sides, how many corners, and the name of the shape below, okay? Over here for number 2, they give you some different quadrilaterals, rectangle, rhombus, square. I want you to tell me the name of the shape, and then you're going to write T if it's true, F if it's false. So it has 4 sides the same length. Is that true about this shape? If it is, put a T. Or is that false, not correct about the shape? If it is, put an F. Same thing for here. Does it have 4 square corners? What square corners means is that, let me show you my tools, is that when you look, let me make this like this. When you look at the corner, okay, it makes a square like this because both lines are straight lines, so they make a square. Now, not all shapes have square corners, and I'm giving you an answer here, but look at these. When I look at my angles, the lines aren't both straight. One is at a slant. So when you look at the angles, it doesn't make a straight square. It's something like this. It's curved, okay? A square angle looks like this. That's the best I can do, sorry. And a non-square angle looks like this, or it can be like this. But these are square angles. We also call them right angles, but you'll learn that in 3rd grade. So a square angle is like this, okay? These are not square angles, okay? This one kind of isn't either. I didn't do it that straight, but it's hard to draw it straight. Square angles, okay? So tell me T for true, F for false. Then you're going to write the name of the shape down here. Last question, number 3. Bruce says this shape is a square. Do you agree? Why or why not? This is when it's so important that we explain our answers. I don't just want to see yes or no. I want you explaining your thinking. So he says this is a square. Yes, I agree it is a square because, or no, I don't agree this is not a square because. Okay? And that's it for today. You're doing page 273, 274. And then tomorrow you'll have another 2 pages. Go day by day. Don't try and do it all in one day. Let's spread out the work so it's not so overwhelming and you have other things to do in science and Spanish as well. So hope you guys enjoyed today's lesson. Go ahead and start your work. Zoom room opens up at 10 today if you have any other questions or need help with any of the assignments. Have a great day, guys. Bye.